you very much. With that, that concludes our speakers. If anybody has questions, one question that's been posed by a number of media outlets is how can we get a copy of the petition, the writ of mandate? For those of you that want it, just let us get your email, and we will email it to you today, and we will have it up on our website, CJLF.org. We've got Ro over here with her hand up over here, but we will open it up to questions that we can answer. Sharon, you got something else? Okay.
Avery, Joseph D'Angelo, he'll probably die in prison, but you talked about serial killers. So would that apply to someone like that? Who are you talking about when you say serial killer?
Thankfully, Joseph D'Angelo will not be eligible because he committed sexual assaults during the course of his crimes. But there are some cases, for instance, the one involving Sandra Cantu, where Miss Huckabee, did sexually assault that child, but that special circumstance was dismissed because she pled to a kidnapping and the murder with the expectation that life without parole. So, but other serial killers, there's plenty of serial killers that were not sexually motivated. Those individuals would be eligible.
I've been in touch with the governor's office all day on their pushback to this lawsuit and this opposition, so I want to get your response to their response. They're saying technically, again, the ultimate decision making still lies in the hands of the boards and the governor, and that at the end of the day, this only opens the door for some recommendations, not necessarily the direct hearing itself as well. They are also saying, technically, we has had this authority in certain cases to recommend or hear LWOP cases, and that this regulation is only kind of solidifying the rules with which they would operate that authority per the request of the legislature. So that is the response I'm getting from the GO on this. Can you respond to that?
Sure. As far as I know, no bureaucratic agency in the history of California or across this country has had the power to essentially rewrite sentencing and allow for the release of LWOP. That is a fact. So they want to act like they have the authority. They only have the authority to write regulations on parole. LWOP is not entitled to parole, so they have no authority. That is our position, as well as the various other things. They don't have the authority to dismiss special circumstances. The only way that they could allow somebody with LWOP to get out is to tell a judge, we think Scott Peterson should get out of prison, and the only way for that to happen is a judge says, I'm going to reduce this to something lesser than a jury and a judge found. And that is wrong, and it's a violation of the law. So they can spin it however they choose to spin it, but never have we seen that LWOP, and we're talking about thousands, we're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 7,000 inmates. The worst of the worst that are going to be eligible under this. This has gone too far, and that's why we're here. You got another question there? I can see it. She's going to follow up.
They're all saying on the transparency aspect, like you all have noticed, right? That's the not in legislative vote, not in front of California voters. GO says this has been one of the most transparent processes that they have had, right? They're saying there's been public comment process, amendments, and that CJLF, as far as they know, have not weighed in.
Well, let's be clear. We didn't find out about these regulations till a few months ago, and that's when I sent a letter to the BPH. I never got a response. But let's not forget, they did not go through the legislature. And in fact, I'm sure Mr. Geyer can tell you, last year, and I think several people have mentioned, there's been bills to try to chip away at this. Guess what? They got killed. Why? Because we had a truly public and transparent process. Here, we have a process where very few people even know. Who in their right mind is going to go onto the BPH website and say, oh, I think I should weigh in on this public comment? This process has bypassed our legislative bodies. And they did it after elected officials, including Republicans and Democrats, said, this is too much. So it is not a transparent process. This is a process in reaction to the fact they couldn't get the bills through the legislature. You're all dying. Anybody else? For those of you that want more information, our website is CJLF.org. Up on